We're at the Bamboo Satori in Guthrie and visiting with owner Linda Finley. Hi Linda, thanks for having us.
Hi Kim, it's nice to have you.
Well, we are standing in a magnificent grove here of timber bamboo. This is just fabulous.
Thank you, I enjoy it.
Yes, and I understand bamboo has a really interesting growth habit. Can you describe that a little bit?
Well, by looking at these large bamboos around us, you would think it would take years to grow them, but actually each one of these came up in the spring and grew to its full height, full diameter in about 8 weeks.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah,
so,
you can almost watch it grow.
That's what they say. It's just amazing to imagine that they reached this height just in 8 weeks.
I know,
It's fabulous.
I know.
And over time, do they get any larger or they stay the same size?
No, they've reached their full height. They're not going to grow anymore.
They don't get wider or anything?
They do the color fades on them.
Okay.
And if you do lose some leaves during the winter off of them, the leaves will come back.
Okay.
But if you lose any other parts of them, it doesn't come back.
I think that's an interesting point that you brought up about the winter. These bamboo are all hardy here in Oklahoma.
Yes, they are, and they stay green all winter. The only thing that does happen sometimes is you get a little bit of leaf burn from some cold, dry winds.
Okay.
But other than that, they stay green.
Wonderful. What are some of the site requirements that we need for growing bamboo?
Well, if you're starting a new grove and you're using small plants, probably some shade would be good.
Okay.
But once these have outgrown the trees, so
Right.
obviously they like the sun too. So
they're doing just fine.
they're pretty adaptable, really.
Okay.
Some of the small bamboos, the really small ones, do require shade, but the larger ones really don't care that much. So
Okay. Now there's some different types of bamboo. We have clumping bamboo and running bamboo, and I understand what works best here in Oklahoma is the running bamboo.
Yes.
One of the risks with that is that it likes to spread.
Yes, it does. There's several ways you can contain it. It depends on what you're wanting to do in your yard, or you can put it in a container and just bury the container, and that way it's contained.
Okay.
Or you can put it in a barrier system all around the planting. You can trench it, and when the rhizomes come through the trench, you can just cut them off. There are several, or do like I do, and in the spring when all the new shoots come up, I just go out and kick them all over.
Because they're real tender when they're first coming up.
But I also take some of them in the house so that I can have them for supper.
Oh.
Bamboo shoots are good.
You mentioned there's a particular variety that's really good to eat. What's that one called?
It's dulcis is the name of it, but a common name for it is called sweet shoot because it is, and it's very good.
And we harvest those young shoots kind of like asparagus.
Right,
Wonderful.
exactly.
Excellent.
Yes.
There's so many different bamboos with different growth habits. It seems that there's many uses for bamboo in the landscape.
Oh, definitely. Some of them make really good hedges, and you can even trim the hedges into a box shape if that's what you want. Since they only grow really once a year, you only have to trim them once a year, which is nice.
Yeah.
And then you can just have a clump just in the corner of your yard. I don't really recommend putting a hedge without a barrier along the back side of your property, which a lot of people want to do, because you're going to end up with bamboo in your neighbor's yard.
Right, and they were not going to be too happy.
Yeah, so it's just some things you need to think about before you plant it. But bamboo isn't for everybody, and you can't be a lazy gardener with it. But it's not that hard to take care of.
Okay. Now, how many cultivars or varieties of bamboo do you grow?
I've got just about 40. I keep counting them up, and sometimes I come up with 38 and sometimes 41, but it's around 40.
Okay, well, let's go take a look at some of those.
All right, we will.
there's such amazing diversity in the bamboo. We just came from this giant timber bamboo, and this one's so much lower.
Yes. There is just sort of a bamboo for every situation in a landscape. This, you know, could make a foundation planting or even just a clump.
What's this one called?
This is called Kumasaka.
Kumasaka.
And it doesn't really get any taller than it is right now. And it stays green, really nice green during the winter. So that would be very nice.
And there's some even smaller ones that you could use for ground cover.
Yes, I have some that are, you know, just barely that tall. So, and they would grow well under shade trees.
Okay. They like that shade. Okay.
Yes, they do.
You had mentioned using some as a screen. I think that's a wonderful example. What's this bamboo?
This is called Basetti, and it's a very dense growing bamboo, and would make a wonderful screen to block anything you would want to block.
Okay.
So,
Let's look at some others here.
all right.
Linda, I'm just struck by the great diversity in stem colors that we're seeing in all these bamboos. This one's really beautiful with this blue sheen to it.
Yes, this is a form of black bamboo, and you can see the black splotches on it.
Yeah.
And this is called Boreana,
Okay.
and it's also a big timber bamboo. It will get fairly big, and it has really nice leaves and leaf cover. So
The leaves come fairly low, and
Low.
I've noticed that some of them, the leaves are more concentrated at the top.
Yes. This one is a very nice bamboo and a very colorful one when you mix it with some of the other decorative bamboos that I have.
Some of those, you mentioned the black, that's a very
Yes,
decorative one with the nice black stems.
Yes,
as
shiny black. Yes, that's very nice. I have some that are yellow and they have green stripes on them.
Okay, and what's that one called?
I have two of those.
Oh.
One's called Castellanus and one's called Spectabilis.
Wonderful.
Then I have a green with a yellow stripe on it. So there's just a little bit of everything. Bamboo likes to be different.
Absolutely. Well, you have one that you told me is your favorite. Why don't we end by taking a look at that?
Okay.
Well, I can certainly see why this is one of your favorites. This is a beautiful bamboo.
It is. It is my favorite. I like the way it looks. I like the way it clumps even, which most of the running bamboos don't clump, but this one does a little bit. It has just random green striping on it, and it is called Robert Young.
Robert Young. Well, I understand your bamboos are available for sale to the public,
They are.
and we can also come out and visit you.
You can.
Yeah.
I love giving tours and talking to people about the bamboo. Educational tours, you know, Boy Scout troops, I don't care.
Okay. Now, if somebody's interested in purchasing and planting bamboo, what's the best time of year to do that?
Well, it would probably be early spring, and then really any time except August and January, I would say, really,
Okay.
when it's really hot or really cold.
Okay.
And any time other than that, since it stays green all year.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for having us out here
You're
today.
welcome. I'm so glad you could come.
Oh, I certainly enjoyed it.
Thank you.